And at that point, they will be considered more successful musician. In this point now, they will be considered more successful musician than the person maybe who may, for instance, somebody might have 10 million followers and maybe more millions of views on a particular post, and may be considered more successful in the digital space now than somebody who may have much lesser, maybe 500 to 1,000 followers and views, irrespective of what the content itself is. So, the media space now, for you to be a successful content creator, that's the point where I'm going to, is not the same way as what it was before. Now, for you to be a successful content creator, as long as you're posting, because now it requires you. The media space now is not like before, where you have to do so much research for you to bring out one content. You have to go deep. Let's say maybe you want to go and maybe explore the creeks of the Niger Delta. You have to calculate how many communities, how many riverine communities you need to enter. How are you going to get them? Who are you going to interview? What are you going to show? At what point are you going to go? Because many of those waters, they usually flow in and flow out. So at what point are you going to show this water? But now it's not, if you take that much time now, you might just be producing one content maybe in 2 months. But the media space now requires you to be active, so active that as one is coming. In fact, where the media space can now be described as the happening world, where it requires something to be happening always. So as a content creator, if you're not having something happening on your page every now and then, it means you cannot be successful. And it means your page cannot grow. It means the money too cannot come. The algorithms will not favor you. And because these algorithms are positioned in a way that all they are interested, just like the monetization we've mentioned, they have been monetized to the point that they keep showing people what they sense that these people want to see. They keep showing you what they sense you want to see based on your searches, based on your views. And so they keep showing you more. So if you're not queuing in as a creator into that which they are showing people, you will not be visible. And as long as you're not visible in the digital space now, you're not a successful content creator. So it takes visibility. It takes visibility. And that visibility must not, in fact, currently, no matter how we may argue it, which conservative media critics will argue that now things are so hasty that, just like my opening point, that it doesn't require critical thinking. And so because they don't require critical thinking, that these things are not really per se media content. But however, what function does the content do? If it's to entertain. Currently, entertainment is now at its cheapest, at its best, and most accessible way than ever it was.
Yes. And the function of the media is to inform, to educate, and entertain. So I think it adds up. So I want to also ask another question. So we see that a lot of the time, especially now, like in this current time, a lot of Gen Zs and millennials are going into content creation, social media. Everybody's on Instagram, everybody's on TikTok. So it's getting to a point where it's like, oh, if you're not on Instagram, if you've not done this trend, then you know like follow, that kind of thing. So do you think that social media is now reshaping identity, or has reshaped identity, especially among young people? Because I see a lot of people, oh, how many followers do you have on Instagram? You don't even have to up to 100 followers. She knows follow, she's not part of the gang, that kind of thing. So what do you think about that?
Or you're not showing your bum bum. You're not showing your bum bum.
As long as, well, this affects everybody. So not just the young people that you have mentioned. It affects everybody as long as you are, whether an active or a passive participant in the media, in the current media space, it affects you. Identity formation now is so much more redefined than ever before. Before now, what it takes for your identity to emerge is that you will be your brother to your siblings. You will play with them a lot. You will have time. People will go out in the evening, maybe when the sun is maybe at sunset. You go out, you play. You become a true child to your parents. Even in school, you become a good pupil or a good student. Even in church, you become so active that they look at you, they say, oh, this person is going to make a good mother in her own time because she's following the things of God or whatever you may put it. So it usually took much more than what it takes now for you to have your identity.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another interesting episode of the biggest podcast show in the whole of Niger Delta. I'm talking about the Gist City podcast.
Hello.
Now, 2025 was an amazing year, and now we're here in 2026, ready to give you guys more interesting conversations and more mind-blowing discussions right here on the biggest podcast show in the Niger Delta. But before I move on, let me start by introducing my amazing host of this podcast. Pokima, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
You
How are
look
you too?
really
You look
good,
good. You
by
look
the way.
good.
Oh, thank you so
look
much.
good. You're really shining. You're
Thank you.
glowing.
Oh, I'm blushing. I'm shy. Okay, so what are you bringing to the podcast this time around, this
We're
season?
bringing good gist, the gist of the gist.
Yeah, the gist of the.
That's
You
why
heard
we're the
him.
biggest. That's
Yeah.
why we're the biggest.
Clock it.
So
I left clock it in last season, but we'll bring it here
we're bringing
again.
it this year.
All right, so this podcast is proudly sponsored by 3 outstanding Nigerian brands. So first on our list is none other than the MLJ Marine Oil and Gas Limited, delivering excellence in marine logistics, in energy, engineering services, and oil and gas solutions across Nigeria. Moving on, we are also supported by Belema Oil Producing Limited, an indigenous upstream energy company driving sustainable development and production and community development in the Niger Delta. And finally on our list, Amabi Nigeria Limited. Now, Amabi Nigeria is a proudly Nigerian company contributing to business and operational services within the country. Today on the biggest podcast, I need to make emphasis on how big this podcast is, because people don't know how big this podcast is. Today on the biggest podcast show in the Niger Delta, we are going to be talking about culture, attention, and crisis of meaning in the digital age. We're taking a deep dive into culture, what culture is all about, how we live and interact with people, how we speak to people, how we connect with people. We're also going to be talking about attention, what is actually fighting for our attention in this current age, be it media, be it social media, be it phone, be it the traditional media, all of that. We're going to be dissecting it right here on today's podcast. And of course, we cannot move on without introducing our guest for today's podcast. He is a lecturer at the prestigious River State University, and he is also a lecturer at the Faculty of Communication and Media Studies in the prestigious River State University, and he's also a media consultant. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, put your beautiful hands together for Dr. Ibe O. Ibe. Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm very fine. I'm very excited to be here today with the Gist City podcast.
Yes.
Welcome, sir.
You look really amazing that day, sir.
Thank you. You all do. You are
You
looking
do
amazing
good.
too.
Thank
Black
you.
diamond.
Okay, sir. So I think let my host take it.
All
from
right,
here.
sir. You're really welcome. We're happy to have you today on set today. First thing first, we just want you to dissect the topic. When we say internet, the internet is one thing that has contributed so much to development of our country, and also is also a eye catcher, especially the social media. And what trends in the social media today matters a lot to we indigenes, we locals, and the entire Nigerians. We want to ask, what does it really take to get something to trend on the internet?
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for your question. The internet, just as you have rightly introduced, is summarily put like the future. Yes, the digital age is the age that we are, and it is the age that will shape so much of the future that we are going into. And from what you asked, that what does it take for something to trend? Is that also in this particular space? Well, in the traditional space that we're in the traditional media space, it takes creativity, it takes genuine content, it takes originality for you to make your mark. But in the digital space that we have now, it doesn't take much of that. It only takes virality. What can go viral?
So in today's world, what can go viral?
Anything can go viral.
Anything.
Anything can go viral, except what will require critical thinking. Anything that will not require you to think deep can go viral. So, in other words, anything that will be quick, anything that will just be very hasty for somebody to look at and jump into conclusion, anything that can be a short clip rather than a lengthy video, anything that can be a short sound, a short feed, rather than something long that people can take critical, can pay critical attention into. Yes, those short things usually go viral. And many of those short things, as long as they are trendy, as long as they are built or they are looking at trending topics, they can easily go viral.
Okay, sir. So I have a very important question. You talked about things that go viral and how anything that doesn't force you to critically think tends to trend in this current age. So do you think that normalizes brain rot content?
Brain
Rot content.
Brain rot. Okay. Well, neuroscience usually will argue that as long as you are not critically thinking, as long as you have divided attention, as long as what we call multitasking, the digital age privileges multitasking a lot in the digital space, where the moment you are on a particular digital app, on a particular social media app, let's say maybe Facebook, you can see notification popping up on WhatsApp. And then by the time you jump into to reply that chat, you're going to view status. And then by the time you're viewing status, before you even realize that, you were trying to create a post or trying to follow up a content on Facebook, maybe 10 minutes might have passed. So as long as you are multitasking like this, it affects, back to what I said, the ability for you to think critically.
Okay.
And the neuroscience has argued that as long as you're not thinking deep in one particular thing, multitasking is something that we all crave to do. If you're a good multitasker, it is an advantage for anybody.
Yeah.
But scientifically, it is proven that when you are multitasking, your ability to focus, your ability to think critically, your ability to be more cognitive is oftentimes diminished.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, sir, in what ways has constant digital stimulation affected human attention in this current age?
Well, we have a lot of things in the media space craving our attention. We have a lot. And just like I said just before now, that we have so many social media platforms, even the phone itself, even the phone gadgets itself, even so many things. We have, in fact, we are now in the season where we call the attention economy, where so many things are seeking your attention. And these things that are seeking your attention are not just things that are seeking your attention maybe for you to engage deeply in them. They are things that have been algorithmically commodified. So in other words, that is the attention economy. These things are moving towards monetization. So all they seek from you is not for you to think deep, is not for you to deeply engage in them, but just for you to get that attention, just to get your attention hastily, not for you to go deep, not for you to delve so much in it. And once your attention is gotten, at that point, it has fulfilled its algorithmic drive.
All right.
So as one is taking your attention, another one is also craving to take attention. And before now, in the media space, for instance, if you want to consume a media, let's say film, you need to maybe sit in the darkened room, maybe in the cinema, or even if in your house, for you to enjoy the film, you must concentrate, be focused. In fact, the moment you maybe take a moment, maybe to ease yourself or to go and maybe refresh with water or something, by the time you come back, you realize that it's as if you have lost so much.
You lost it all.
Yeah, so It is as if for you to really gain meaning from the media space traditionally, you have to be focused. You really have to sit down and follow the narrative. But now it's no longer it's not like that anymore. Now all you need to do, just click. The short clip is there for you. It does not require you to think. It does not even require you to go too deep into it. It just wants your view because why it has been monetized.
All right.
So these
So, sir,
metrics, yes.
you're talking about monetization. I want you to also dive deep into monetization. In today's world, content creation and what trends in the internet has made a lot of young people, or perhaps people that are into it, we say fortunate into the business. What does it really take to make money out of content? Because let me give you an example. A lot of people say, I'm a content creator, I'm a content creator, I'm a content creator. However, most of these people, they don't get as much as, and then the few persons that gets money from this content creation business is just minimal, while other persons, they do other things and then still use the content creator kind of language to cover it up. But then what does it take to actually make good money? Because first of all, there's this algorithm on the internet that allows you to watch full video before, or multiple advert on a particular video before you earn as much, before the creator earn as much as he was calculated to be given and all of that. But what does it really take?
Well, rather than providing maybe a specific answer, I don't know if that's what you want, but rather than me just telling you this is what it takes, maybe I'll try to open up your head, maybe I'll try to ask you some deeper questions or raise some theoretical concerns that may drive you to maybe closer to what might be the answer. Now, traditionally, again, I will mention the traditional media because basically for us to look at the digital space, we must compare it with its order.
Yeah.
And its order is the traditional media space that before now long existed. And so in the traditional media space, just like I said in my opening remark, that for an artist, let me take a musician, for instance.
Yeah.
For you to be a good musician, yes, it took more than just having a popular music trending out there. It took so much more time. It took more community engagement.
Okay.
It took more people interfacing with your work over a period of time. And so when that happened, the music could actually stay longer. You could listen to a music trend, a popular music could trend for a year. And you have musicians going from one show to another within that space of 1 year and even more, performing that hit song. And everywhere they went performing that hit song, it was performed as a popular music.
So if I must get it clearly,
Yes.
what you're trying to analyze is that to make money out of this whole content creation, it has to come both in traditional way and through the internet.
No, not okay, part of it. But now the analogy I'm trying to make is this. Now, before then, the artist itself had so much role to play in terms of you as the musician, for instance, how creative you are, how much can you write, how much can you sing before you even go to the media space, how much can they now publicize your song, make it go viral in the sense of viral in that traditional sense. But now it doesn't take much of that. Now all it takes is this algorithmic bias that you just mentioned. As long as the metrics favor you, as long as you have the likes, as long as you have the shares, as long as you have the views, and at that point it will be considered more successful musician. In this point now, they will be considered more successful musician than the person maybe who may, for instance, somebody might have 10 million followers and maybe more millions of views on a particular post, and may be considered more successful in the digital space now than somebody who may have much less, maybe 500 to 1,000 followers and views, irrespective of what the content itself is. So the media space now, for you to be a successful content creator, that's the point where I'm going to, is not the same way as what it was before. Now, for you to be a successful content creator, as long as you're posting, because now it requires you. The media space now is not like before where you have to do so much research for you to bring out one content. You have to go deep. Let's say maybe you want to go and maybe explore the creeks of the Niger Delta. You have to calculate how many communities, how many riverine communities you need to enter. How are you going to get them? Who are you going to interview? What are you going to show? At what point are you going to go? Because many of those waters, they usually flow in and flow out.
Yes, yes.
So at what point are you going to show this what? But now it's not, if you take that much time now, you might just be producing one content maybe in 2 months.
Yeah.
But the media space now requires you to be active, so active that as one is coming. In fact, where the media space cannot be described as the happening world, where it requires something to be happening always. So as a content creator, if you're not having something happening on your page every now and then, it means you cannot be successful. And it means your page cannot grow. It means the money too cannot come. The algorithms will not favor you. And because these algorithms are positioned in a way that all they are interested, just like the monetization we've mentioned,
Yeah.
they have been monetized to the point that they keep showing people what they sense that these people want to see. They keep showing you what they sense you want to see based on your searches, based on your views. And so they keep showing you more. So if you're not queuing in as a creator into that which they are showing people, you will not be visible. And as long as you're not visible in the digital space now, you're not a successful content creator. So it takes visibility. It takes visibility. And that visibility must not, in fact, currently, no matter how we may argue it, which conservative media critics will argue that now things are so hasty that, just like my opening point, that it doesn't require critical thinking. And so because they don't require critical thinking, that these things are not really per se media content. But however, what function does the content do? If it's to entertain. Currently, entertainment is now at its cheapest, at its best, and most accessible way than ever it was.
Yes. And the function of the media is to inform, to educate, and entertain. So I think it adds up. So I want to also ask another question. So we see that a lot of the time, especially now, like in this current time, a lot of Gen Zs and millennials are going into content creation, social media. Everybody's on Instagram, everybody's on TikTok. So it's getting to a point where it's like, oh, if you're not on Instagram, if you've not done this trend there, and you know like follow, that kind of thing. So do you think that social media is now reshaping identity, or has reshaped identity, especially among young people? Because I see a lot of people, oh, how many followers do you have on Instagram? You don't even have to up to 100 followers. She knows follow, she's not part of the gang, that kind of thing. So what do you think about that?
Or you're not showing your bum bum. You're not showing your bum bum.
As long as, this affects everybody. So not just the young people that you have mentioned. It affects everybody as long as you are, whether an active or a passive participant in the media, in the current media space, it affects you. Identity formation now is so much more redefined than ever before. Before now, what it takes for your identity to emerge is that you will be your brother to your siblings. You will play with them a lot. You will have time. People will go out in the evening, maybe when the sun is maybe at sunset. You go out, you play. You become a true child to your parents. Even in school, you become a good pupil or a good student. Even in church, you become so active that they look at you, they say, oh, this person is going to make a good mother in her own time because she's following the things of God, or whatever you may put it. So it took much more than what it takes now for you to have your identity.
Okay, sir. So this leads us into another important question. So we see that in this current age, a lot of young people are now attaching their identity to their social media accounts and what they do on social media. Everybody wants to be a content creator. Everybody wants to be an influencer. Everybody wants to be on Instagram. Everybody has TikTok now. So if you're not on TikTok, if you're not on IG, if you're not on the X, you're not.
And the most times, if you're not showing your body, or if you're not doing a certain,
thing, then it means that you're not, follow. So do you think that social media has now reshaped our identities, especially as young people?
Yes, thank you so much. It is. That question is an important one because um, the identity formation that we have now is what can be described as a sort of a curated performance. Curated performance in the sense that people now create who they are, customized for the digital space. And oftentimes, these identities do not really reflect with the true self. So you have the distinction between the true self and then the digital identity. This blurred distinction is now there, where you are not able to really know who you are, your true self, and who you are on social media. Before now, traditionally, for your identity to be formed, for you to form your identity as an individual, it took more than just engaging with one platform. It took more community participation, like being a good brother to your siblings or a good sister to your siblings, where you will come out maybe at sunset to play. Being a good child to your parents, where they send you on an errand and they expect you to run and come back immediately. Even in the church, even in the work, even at your church, even at school, all of these places, as a growing child, you're expected to perform in a certain way. And from these points, your identity is in life is usually formed, shaped, and reshaped. And along the line, you will get comments even from your brothers. Oh, you are not a generous person, you are a stingy person. And that identity maybe might not be identified by your parents, but can still go and be pointed out even at school or your friends in church. And so the process of you being an individual took much more than just what it is now. Now, we have what we call the theater of performance, where everybody is curating an identity just for the media space. For instance, and this identity on the media space is defined by how much visibility, how much of these metrics that are in your favor, how much followers do you have. And so by the time you have a friend who has maybe, for instance, say 20,000 followers, let me say on their IG page, and you are still struggling with less than 500, to you, it seems as if the identity of your friend is more acceptable in this digital age than your own. And so no matter how you shy away from it, you will now want to also push towards curating your own identity, which would now lead to what we call the identity performance, where you will now begin to be somebody else, where you will try to be something in order to also fit in order for you to follow the trend, so that the algorithm metrics can favor you. Where, the same, and just like you said, where if you're not showing your bum, where if you're not exposing your nakedness, where if you're not being nasty on the media space,
unnecessarily loud.
Yes, if you're not being unnecessarily loud, if you're not being nasty, it's as if you are not keeping it up. It's as if you're not keeping it real.
Right.
And then what this does is that oftentimes we now have people who on the media space they are wanting, and when you see them physically, they are another.
This one is different from
Yes, and that's why that comment comes a lot when you engage in online and offline relationships. By the time, let's say maybe you meet the person online first, most times by the time you now get to see the person offline, you now be like, I like the comment might either be in favor or against. I like you physically more than when we chat, when we text, when we video call. Or I think I like you when we chat more than physically you're too serious.
Yes.
Physically you're too serious, but in the media space you are more. Now that is two identities in one person, and so this leads to what we call identity crisis.
Yes.
All right, let me ask that. Up next, I think is distraction merely a habit, or has it become a cultural condition?
It's two ways, and I think I will draw from the question itself to get the two ways. It's both a habit and a cultural condition. Why would I say it's a habit? Habits is individually driven. If you want to be disciplined, for instance, it is habitual. It is something you need to keep. If you're for instance used to going late to events or to classes or to events or whatever, for you to change that habit, it is conscious effort you will need to put as an individual. You will tell yourself that from today, I'll stop going late. And you will not just take the decision. You also put certain things in place that will help you. If it requires you setting an alarm for you to be waking up earlier, if it requires you for you to set up reminders, for you to put up or to even tell people, please remind me at so time that have I not gone for this? Have I not called this person? That one is habitual. That one requires the individual effort. And it is both habitual and it is both a cultural thing, because individual effort is not enough. If you are in the society, for instance, if you want to tell somebody to quit smoking, for instance, you're telling somebody quit smoking, and you keep them in an environment where every now and then they see cigarettes being popped on them. They get offers of take now, just one stick will not kill you. Take, or if they continue to interface in that kind of habit that they want to live, you will discover that it may be more difficult than somebody who is not in that environment. So that is why it is both a responsibility for the individual, for you to be more responsible, for you to take more concrete steps towards moving away from this. And then the environment that we find ourselves to, the digital space now, does not privilege so much of your identity being defined by you. It's rather your identity is being shaped and reshaped by your environment, especially driven by the media space. So it's a two-way thing.
Okay.
Now, so as a media consultant, I want to ask, what would be your advice to every young Nigeria that wants to create a change in the local world, especially in line with the fact that we need money to do almost everything?
Yes. Well, the media space now is offering a lot of opportunities to young minds, to young creatives. It's offering a lot of opportunities financially. These monetization policies is really driving the content space a lot, because content creation now is now driven by how much money you can get from it, rather than how much impact you can make in the digital space. So if your intent is to make money as a young individual, then you follow the ways of those who are only pushing for money. But if your intent is to balance it, is to leave a mark for yourself as a media personality, whether you're a content creator or what have you, if your intent is to leave a mark, then you must also put up engaging content as much as you are going towards monetization. And if you ask me, is it possible? Well, that one I may not be able to give concrete answer. If it's possible for you to combine being a right media practitioner, the correct media practitioner. Let me just put it in that primary vocabulary. For you to be the right primary media practitioner, or for you to just chase money, for you to chase clouds, for you to chase all that it will take for you to always be viral. What does it take? Now we have so many content creators who are there, who are very popular with so much millions of followers. Why? Because what they do they really bring about genuine content? Now, is truthfulness being valued, or what is just being valued is that which can engage the individual at that moment, distract their mind, and put them in the direction that they want?
Okay. Do you have any content creator that you dislike?
Well,
Let's say in that data, do you have anybody that you dislike before we come to anybody that you would always recommend?
Well, those are individual choices.
That's what I'm asking.
Yes, they're individual choices. Well, of course, that's why I said they're individual choices, because as an individual, you will always have what you like and what you hate. So also doing
I would want to know what you hate.
yes, so also to individuals. You also have people that do things the way you feel you like, and people that do things the way you feel you don't like. And by the time, because it is individual based, by the time you follow people who are, is as if this person doesn't always verify their content, their news they put out there, the information they put out, they don't verify, they just rush. The moment they hear something, they rush to the site because they know they have organic followers, they just want to trend. Yes, you may not like that kind of a person if you are an individual who is more traditionally inclined in terms of media and what content creation should be. So, but back to the question, if there are people I like, of course, just the same way, if I give you a remote now with a cable decoder on, and I give you a television remote, say please put what you would like to watch. Definitely, you will go to that which you're used to
but
watching.
You have not asked. Okay, let's say in Port Harcourt or Rivers State as general, which of the content creators do you dislike?
You know, the first thing first is how many content creators we have.
How many renowned content creators
Yes.
do we have?
No,
That's
let's leave renown, because renown now might
It's
be
too big.
no, it might be big in the sense that what defines who is renowned. Is it by the amount of followers they have? Is it by how much they are known everywhere and all of that? Are you getting me?
Yeah.
So, but the question is, how many content creators do we have that you know? We cannot quantify them. Is that not true? Currently, you cannot say how many content creators that we have. Who you know might not be who I know.
Yeah, I get.
Yes, and what I see on the media space might not be also what you see. So what might be trending to me might not be trending to you, because why? Algorithm defines what we see. Are you following me? So for me to tell you that this person, I like this person, you might not be also tempted to ask me again, why do you like this person? And then the question will keep going on and on. But summarily, there are people I like, just as there are stations that you would always want to watch. There are also pages, even on social media, that you want to run to the moment you get in touch with your phone, with internet. That is how it is. There are people that we like, that we follow. There are those you don't follow. Even as the social media spaces pop up people to you to follow, there are pages that you don't follow in the end. And there are some that the moment you see it suggested, follow. Once you follow. Because why? You feel this person or this page is
Resonates
enough.
with you.
Yes, resonates with you and
Exactly.
is likely to give you the content that will keep you more in the media space.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, quickly before we round up, you keep on you've mentioned a particular word over and over again, and I just want us to like emphasize on that. You talked about the word algorithm. Now, we use social media, we all use social media. We know that algorithm is kind of like a machinery that pushes content to a specific audience. So do you think that, or how do you think the algorithm shapes what we consider meaningful in today's world?
Okay, well, yes, what we consider meaningful in today's world, especially let's use the digital space.
Yes, because
In the digital space today is shaped by algorithm. It's not shaped like the way it was traditionally. Before now, for you to make meaning, just like let me still use a film or a music. For you to make meaning from a film before now, like I said in my opening remark, that you need to sit down. You need to follow the film. At that point, you will now get the benefits of sitting down to follow a movie, to see a movie. And at that point, that's where meaning will now begin to come. You now begin to pair things to say, oh, this one happened because then this one was not there, and all of that. But now it's no longer the same. Now, meaning is algorithm driven. How is it algorithm driven? Whatever the algorithm wants you to see, that is what you continue to see. And as long as you keep seeing that, your world is shaped around what you see and what you hear. So they keep pushing these things. And what do they push to you? They don't push those contents that may engage you critically. They don't push those contents that may question yourself, your sense of identity, that may ask questions back to you. Oh, Who am I? Am I really who I'm supposed to be? They don't put all of that to you because why? They are monetized. They are just there to get the metrics, to get you to view quickly. And as long as you view, you engage, you open the comment section. At that point, you have deeply engaged in the algorithmic way. And the next post or the next 5 posts again you might see might be something similar.
Something similar, yeah.
And you keep seeing that. You keep seeing that. And then your own meaning is now being shaped around all of this. So what makes meaning now is not what can be called meaningful.
Yeah,
Is not what can be called meaningful. Now, what brings about meaning is how much of what you see and what much of what the algorithms push are short feeds, short clips, short engaging contents. Now AI has come to take over that you can hardly, in fact, the average Nigerian, by average I mean those that are not so much deep into the media space, those that don't have the visual literacy, that sometimes what they see, they cannot distinguish between AI and reality.
Mm.
And now with the funny contents going where you see somebody create a very fat, big woman using AI,
Yes, and
where
dancing.
dancing or falling off, or you see children dancing. Many people still do not recognize that these things are artificially generated. They feel that, wow, these things actually happened somewhere. So to them, they are making meaning from it.
Yeah, yes.
Yes, I don't know whether you get me.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yes,
so
thank you
much.
so
Thank you.
much,
All right,
sir.
give wrap up.
Okay. Before we wrap up, final question. Just one more question. Do you think that social media should be regulated? Do you think content creators on the internet should be regulated? Do you think there should be a governing body that sort of oversees what they do or what they should and should not, what they can and cannot do on the internet?
Okay, I'll
What's your
take
take on that?
yes. I'll quickly take this from 2 perspectives because I like balancing it.
Okay.
If we leave it, so the media space is not something that you leave in the hands of an individual or an institution like the government. Yes. For instance, I remember when you asked the question of habits, I also pushed it to the society. I also pushed it kind of to the government away from the individual. So it is for you to decide on what you want to see. It's not just the institutions that will shape that. If the government, for instance, is coming to regulate, well, I myself, I would say, if you ask me personally, that what do you feel? I would say if it's possible, that let there be regulation. But then, so often, expectations are different from realities. What you expect might not be what you actually get. The reality is that can the media space, can social media space be so much regulated when everybody is a creator using your digital device, using your phone? The moment you go online, you are already creating content. So how will the government be able to track, for instance, somebody who is showing nudity on their Facebook page just to go viral? Before you know, because the media space now is such a way that the moment something goes, it has gone. It has gone. Even if you delete it, you don't know who has seen it and who has downloaded it.
I think that the way that works is that the government kind of liaises with the owners of the app. Because sometimes when you post some things on social media, you see that this audio is not allowed in certain countries. So it cannot be pushed to certain
Yes.
areas.
Maybe.
You see a lot of that.
Yes, many of those things are still individual. Like people report posts. Okay. Yes, you can flag a post. You can say, oh, you don't like to see this because it promotes nudity, it promotes violence, and all of that. But for the government per se, just like you're saying now, to maybe let's use Facebook for instance, to partner with Facebook to say they want to control. Yes, they want to control. You can control nudity because once the nakedness is shown, it can be visible to the algorithm. You can control violence. Yes, you can control violence. Yeah, but can you control lies? Yes, that's another thing. You cannot control lies. Lies will take time to be verified and for people to answer that, no, this is a lie. If somebody just goes somewhere and shows a video of one community saying that
X-Men just came into this community now. They kill
70 people. Breaking news, they have killed 70 people. Before that news may be flagged, before that content may be flagged,
It has gone.
it would have gone so far. And so many people would have made meaning from it.
Yes. Yeah. So we do need regulation.
We need regulation.
Social media. Okay. All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of today's conversation. Don't forget, this is GCT, the biggest podcast show in Niger Delta. Every 5 p.m. on Wednesday, we are here to give you the biggest gist and a meaningful gist, too, not just any gist. The gist is always meaningful. Don't forget to always follow us on all our social media platforms at GCT on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube at GCT, and also on Spotify at GCT. Once again, I want to say thank you so much for coming today. We learned a lot today from you. Hope to see you some other time. Bye-bye.
Thank you.